So, as humans, it's easy for us to create a mental deficit when we are not where we want to be in life. And also, specifically, if you're in the online marketing space where we're not quite where we'd like to be in our income, and it can be really debilitating. A lot of the time, we internalize things, and in doing so, what we effectively do is lower our own sense of self, we lower our abundance, we basically start to create a sense of limited thinking, which is all derived from our own fear of not hitting the goals that we want to hit, right? Which is usually from things like fear of failure, fear of exposure, fear of what's the crowd going to say if we don't hit our targets and our goals, all that type of stuff. We're going to be ostracized from the tribe, as it were, and all of which is probably kind of irrational in a lot of ways, but it's such an internal mechanism that it's very hard to shake. So a couple of things have helped me out massively when it comes to this stuff in recent times, and the thing that I always tell my students is you've got to turn around, do a full 180, and look back at how far you've come. Now, I learned this from reading a book called 10x is Easier Than 2x. That is by Dan Sullivan and Ben Hardy. There's also another book that I've written specifically on the subject called The Gap and the Gain, but their philosophy is called The Gap and the Gain. It's basically measuring how far you've come in life and in your business by how far you've traveled down this road, which is pretty cool, right? And so when I started doing this stuff, it was really hard because my ego wanted to reject it. I kept thinking like, oh fuck, I haven't really done that much stuff, and like, I mean, yeah, like I've had a few hundred students, but like, have I really like helped them? And like, it was all interesting because my brain was like searching for the negative aspect of it, which was really interesting. And so what I started to do is like really, really, really just honor the fact that I've come so far. And then I circle back and I go, okay, well, 2015, I went bankrupt. I had absolutely nothing. And then even prior to that, I was massively broke, always in debt, always financially stressed. And then finally, I left the workforce in 2017 to go pursue my own business. Then I found myself broke again. And then, it was a hard road. And then I looked from basically where I'm at now, going back to 2019, where things started really blowing up. I started having $1,000 days, and then I had $10,000 months, and I had $20,000 months, and I had $50,000 months. And not every month is going to be like that. I've kind of plateaued a lot in recent times, and my income's sort of going like this a little bit. Especially now, I'm going through this rebranding process, which is really fascinating. But it just reminded me, looking back on that stuff, like, I've helped this person out, I've helped that person out, helped that person out. I remember giving an epiphany to that person one time. I've got all this inbound lead. I've made so many sales from people just going, hey, I've been following your stuff for ages. You seem genuine. I'd love to hop on whatever it is you have. I believe you can help me out. And then actually helping them out as well, like giving everything I can to helping those folks out along the way. And I look back at that stuff, and not this time it's a little bit different. I'm not looking at it going, yeah, but I mean, I didn't win that because it was all my own thing. It was because of someone else. Like, just owning the fact that I'm here, I've done it, I've built these skills, I've helped so many folks out, I've made millions of dollars online, like all this stuff, and actually honoring it. Now, the other side lesson I want to drop in this is that no matter where you're at in the game, if you're just getting started or you've been at it for, in my case, 13, nearly 14 years now, that's crazy. You're always going to experience this thing where you're not where you want to be. And even people that have been doing this for ages, that have most things sorted out from some basis at least anyway, there's always a sense of self-judgment there. And a lot of the times, like I say, we internalize that, and we're judging ourselves by those around us, by people that we admire in the industry, by a new strategy coming in, by absolute fucking trolls in the DMs, like, the drill. You guys have been there as well. By other people's egos, even, like we often have battles with that a lot of the time. And so if you're experiencing into this one thing, like everyone goes through mindset stuff, right? Like we all do. It's going to be there, and the deeper you can go within yourself and really release some of the fears and the limitations and things like that you have around whatever it is that you're doing, as well as being conscious of the way that you communicate both internally and externally, even just little subtle things that you might say or do. If you're going out there and you're hoping to build a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K plus per month business, you're going to have to address whatever is inside anyway, right? Whatever is in your mind, etc. So, like I say, the big things out of this is everyone goes through mindset stuff. So don't feel like you're special or that you can avoid it. It's going to happen, right? Secondly, is judge by how far you've come, not how far you'd like to or you're yet to go. And just take massive amounts of self-responsibility, because the final thing I'll say on this is the thing that got me to where I'm at, and that has been the crux of my personal growth for so long, is looking in the mirror and without absolutely smashing myself down, just taking massive amounts of responsibility. So I used to be really depressed about the fact that I went bankrupt. I thought, here I am in my mid-30s at that time, and while all my friends are out traveling, they are buying multiple investment properties, they're living this what seemed like a pretty cool life externally. I was like, I can't get a fucking job. I'm broke as shit. And now, like, I'm entering that stage of my life, that chapter where I should be crushing it. In theory, right? I should have like done all this stuff and wasted all my youth in my 20s. Now I should be building. I wasn't. I was suffering massively. And it took a lot of years to recover from that. There's still some damage there, to be perfectly honest. But I kind of learned that it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. I'm not going to look back and go, oh, gosh, oh, thank God I never tried. Thank goodness I never gave anything a shot. I never oh, thank goodness I just kept on this nice, safe path. I never invested in myself. Phew, I'm so glad, because imagine what could have happened on the other side of it. You know, I've never really judged myself based on that. I've always kind of gone, all right, yep, you fucked up along the way quite dramatically at times, and you've pissed some people off, which, according to Dan Kennedy, if you're not pissing someone off by lunchtime, you're not marketing hard enough. And, you know, it's been a whirlwind adventure. So that's it, my little ramble for you guys today. Measure backwards how far you've come, and just honor the journey, and then understand that you're not alone. There are so many people that go through mindset stuff at all levels of the game, and that's what it is. You're playing a game and there are levels to it. So just take comfort in knowing that you're not unique. Everyone's going to go through some stuff. But when you do, and you can relinquish some of the fears that you have, and you can change your dialogue internally and externally, and you can look back at how far you've come and be proud of that and take ownership of it, life is pretty damn good. All of a sudden, you are filled with a sense of gratitude, and the things that you may have looked on once, which were negative, such as perhaps going bankrupt, or, you know, suffering losses along the way, or, you know, certain things that didn't pan out the way that you thought, you look upon them with a sense of favorability, because that is what is actually growing you inside. So anyway, that's a bit of a ramble for you guys today. I hope this helps, and feel free to drop a comment if you'd like any more of this stuff. All right, guys, you have a good one. Cheers.